Would everyone please stand for the council prayer? Almighty God, we pray for your blessing upon this council. Help and prosper its work for the advancement and benefit of its people, so that peace and happiness, unity and justice may be established among us all. Amen. Please be seated. Good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Day and I am the Chief Executive here at Manningham City Council. I'll start with the Wurundjeri Statement of Acknowledgement of Country. Manningham Council acknowledges the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people as the traditional owners of the land and waterways now known as Manningham. Council pays respect to elders past, present and emerging, and values the ongoing contribution to enrich and appreciate the cultural heritage of Manningham. Council acknowledges and respects Australia's First Peoples as traditional owners of lands and waterways across country and encourages reconciliation between all. And our statement of diverse backgrounds and cultures. Manningham Council also values the contribution made to Manningham over the years by people of diverse backgrounds and cultures. I'd like to welcome all members of the public who've joined us here today in person, which is great, and online to observe tonight's proceedings. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge the following members of the gallery. Mr Ron Kitchener, OIM, JP, former Mayor and Councillor and holder of Key to the City. Paula Piccinini, former Mayor and Councillor, and Mike Zafiropoulos. Great to see you, Mike, as well. AM, former Deputy Mayor and Councillor. Tonight's meeting is being held for the purpose of electing the Mayor and Deputy Mayor for the next mayoral term. Item number 2, there are no apologies for this evening's meeting. Item number 3, mayoral term. Before the Mayor can be elected, Council must first determine if the Mayor is to be elected for a 1 or 2 year term. Councillors, can I please have a motion to determine the length of the mayoral term?
Mr CEO, I'd like to move that councillors determine that the Mayor be elected for a 1 year term.
Thank you, Councillor Goff. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Kleinert. Would the mover like to speak?
No, Mr CEO.
Would the seconder like to speak?
No, Mr CEO.
Are there any other speakers? If not, I will put the motion. All those in favour? The motion is carried unanimously. Item number 4, election of the Mayor. I would now like to invite nominations for the position of Mayor for 22-23. Have a mover.
Thank you, Mr CEO. I would like to nominate Councillor Deirdre Diamonte as Mayor. I would like to now invite nominations for Mayor for 2022 to 23.
Thank you.
Councillor Diamonte.
Thank you, Councillor. So we have Councillor Diamonte nominated. Do I have a seconder?
Mr CEO, I'm delighted to second the motion that Councillor Diamonte be our Mayor next year.
Thank you, Councillor Stephen Mayne. Are there any further nominations? If there are no further nominations, there being no further nominations, it's my pleasure to declare that Councillor Deirdre Diamonte is duly elected as the Mayor for 2022-2023. Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. I'm now going to take over the chairing from the CEO. Thank you, Andrew. And I'm going to move to item number 5, congratulatory motion. Do I have a mover?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On behalf of Council and the residents of our municipality, congratulations is extended to Councillor Deirdre Diamonte for being elected as Mayor of Manningham City Council.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
I'm very happy to second that.
Thank you, Councillor Mayne. Did you want to speak, Councillor Lane?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you to our outgoing Mayor, Councillor Michelle Kleinert, for your leadership, energy and passion to create the best outcomes for our community. Tonight is the opportunity to take the welcome to you, Councillor Diamonte, as our Mayor for 2022 to 23. Just like our previous Mayor, your achievement of mayoralship is a testament to your ambition. I know you will climb over any obstacles that come your way and that you will lead the organisation with success. I know this achievement is only one in your future and that you bring genuine compassion for the community and the organisation and you prioritise good governance. This achievement as Mayor is proven to show that tonight. We are happy to be able to watch you achieve your vision for Manningham and for your ward and for your councillors. We are all councillors with families, occupations and friends, and our lives are filled with jumping around and prioritising and organising everything. And you achieve this with success and happiness. Sometimes we can get consumed along the way, so do take the opportunity to savour every moment. I've noticed that you've taken the opportunity to call councillors, have coffees with them, and that you aspire to lead. So congratulations, that's where you sit as Mayor of Manningham City Council. And congratulations on your success. Enjoy it.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Mayne.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd also like to extend a sincere thanks and congratulations to former Mayor Kleinert for an excellent year as Mayor. We've been blessed with a succession of good mayors at Manningham in recent years, and when combined with an excellent CEO now onto his 5th Mayor, we've had 5 good years, 5 stable years of leadership at Manningham. I think in a good sign of the maturity of governance management at Manningham, in the 25 years since council amalgamations in 1997, we've never had a public contest at this annual meeting of council. So councillors have always sensibly got together, usually the night before, resolved who the mayor would be, and then publicly, unanimously, in a united manner, endorsed that mayor. It's a very mature way to do governance transition in Manningham and contrasts with many other councils, whether it's Whitehorse, Yarra trying 3 times, Darebin, a constant Green Labor battle. Here it's very sensibly managed. I personally am delighted with the choice that we've made this year. I tell people that Councillor Diamonte is Australia's nicest Liberal. She is incredibly warm, intelligent, very community-minded, and has had a really interesting and diverse career, whether it's starting out as a geologist, an interesting profession to start with, working in the state and federal government, running a business, sitting on school councils. She's got a really diverse background, and over her 2 years on council has brought a lot to the table. Councillor Diamonte almost didn't get here. It was the tightest of the nine ward contests. I think 120 votes was the margin. Lots of good, strong candidates in the newly formed Tullamore ward, where there was no incumbent councillor contesting. Hence, it attracted a very high-quality field of first-time candidates. I think the best of those won, and that is testament to the fact that she tonight is the Mayor of Manningham. Over this coming year, we've got some interesting decisions to make. We're in a strong financial position with $93 million in the bank at year end. We've got the introduction of the Food and Organics bin program from July 1 next year. We've got to manage retention of key executive talent, capital spending on libraries, maybe Aquarina, netball, Jumping Creek Road, flood mapping, Macedon Square, the state election. I mean, if there's a change of government, we've got a tram coming to Westfield, Doncaster, and a $15 million spend on a new basketball facility at Temple State College. So the bookies aren't saying it's going to happen, but it could all happen. Then there's the rate rise next year with rate capping. Is the government going to go stick it up 6% to be in line with inflation? Very interesting decision that we'll have to make next year about how much we go with the rate cap. Can we ever spend $50 million in a year on capital works? We've decided as a group of councillors we're going to crank up the spending by an extra $10 million a year. So far we haven't quite got above the 50. This is the year under Councillor Diamante when we're going to spend $50 million plus on capital works. Lastly, I just think it's completely appropriate that someone who grew up in Council Street, Doncaster, is now the Mayor of Manningham. I'd like to acknowledge Deirdre's father, Terence, for your service for Australia, for having 7 children, Deirdre being the 6th, 5 minutes ahead of her twin brother, Daniel. I wish Councillor Diamante all the best for a very successful year as our Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Mayne. You do your research well. Are there any other speakers? Councillor Conlon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Well, it is. I'd just like to, on behalf of the people in my ward, thank you for being willing to be nominated, and congratulations. And you, from what I've seen of you and your demeanour, we're in for a good year, I'd say. And it's been great to see. I think I met you at a function when you were probably the judge for the business awards, and that I guess coming into council, you knew a fair bit about what was going on. Your experience on the board of the Bendigo Bank in Doncaster, Templestowe, has been great experience for you, and it's been great to see you listen. In fact, I think you're probably, in terms of a councillor that listens, we're never sure what you're going to vote on, because you actually do keep your mind open right until the last minute. And I remember a couple of times when that's happened over our short time together. So I think that's a great asset for a mayor. So, and I look forward to that being a part of the way you govern us. Obviously, in terms of making decisions, we all try to make a balanced view, and that's again, that's something I appreciate. But part of being a councillor and a mayor is maintaining a balance of life, and so I hope that you'll be able to maintain that balance between family, your employment, and your businesses, and being a councillor and a great mayor. So I congratulate you, and on behalf of my wife and I, we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Conlon. Any other speakers? Councillor Chen.
Councillor Diamante, our Mayor, I'm happy to have you as our Mayor, a person of high caliber. We all know that ideologies separate us, but common goal bring us together. I know that you will lead us by example, and the team, you will also bring the team on a journey. So together we are one, and together we can achieve to our common goal. What is our common goal? That is bringing us together for a better Manningham. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mayor, Madam Mayor. I wish you well. I know that you will do great. You love community, you love family, you have values, and you never let them go. As my fellow councillors have said, keep that balance, don't exhaust yourself, learn when to say no, and you'll be very, very good. And like I did say, I did promise just recently that I said the next mayor would be taller than me. So it's amazing to see how different a gown looks. I certainly wish you well. You will be an inspiration for many young women that are growing up today in Manningham that one day will be in your shoes. Bless you. Enjoy. Keep smiling. And as the wonderful free man of the city, I better make sure that I've got that right, keys to the city, Ron Kitcheman first said to me, enjoy the ride, keep smiling, enjoy, keep smiling. And if you can keep doing that, because it's not always easy, It's very, very hard sometimes. But just remember, when you look at the big picture, look at all the good that you can do. As Mayor, over 124,000 people. It's a beautiful responsibility, it's a beautiful service, and I have great confidence that you will do it very well.
Thank you, Councillor Climate. I appreciate those warm words. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'll hand to the CEO.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Just on behalf of the organisation as well, congratulations on being elected Mayor. I can guarantee you that the team that are in the room and the staff and team beyond that will hook right in behind you and give you all the support that you need to be as successful as you possibly can be in leading the council. As all the councillors have said, it's a tremendous honour. You have a number of former mayors in the room, all of whom will provide you with excellent advice, I'm sure, and little tips and tricks to get the job done. But I've no doubt you will do it your way as well, and certainly look forward to learning what your way is and learning from you. From a personal perspective, I've learnt something new from every mayor that I've worked very, very closely with, and we do work very, very closely together, the CEO and the mayor, and I really look forward to working with you over the next 12 months and learning from you. I promise your family that we will do our best to get Mum home at a reasonable time where we can. You'll no doubt have to put up with Dad's cooking a little bit more than Mum's than usual, but it will be a great ride for you, hopefully, as well. And you should be very proud of what your mum has achieved to date, and we will support her to have a fantastic year.
Thank you, Andrew. So I will now put the motion. All those in favour? The motion is carried. Thank you. Item number 6, response from the newly elected mayor.
That is you.
Exciting. So I am going to say a few words. Fellow councillors, firstly, thank you very much for the very great honour of electing me to the position of Manningham Mayor tonight. Like yourselves, I've grown up in Manningham, as Councillor Mann said, in Council Street. I went to prep in the old Shire Hall, and the opportunity to lead this city in public service is amazing. It is a real honour and quite surreal. It's a great privilege, and as Mayor, there is so much that I'd love to achieve for the community and for the council and for the councillors. Primarily, though, I want Manningham to continue to be a great place to live, to learn and to grow. I want my children to want to live here. I want my children to want to raise their family here. As councillors, we have many responsibilities, and one of those is to protect and foster those aspects of this beautiful city that make it such a great place to live. Some other of my priorities as Mayor will include community visibility. So the 9 of us were all elected by the community to represent them. I strongly believe that one of our core roles is to represent those people that elected us, to advocate for them and to be their voice when so often it can be so hard for them to be heard. As Mayor, I want to increase the visibility of all of us as 9 councillors, create more opportunities for councillors to represent your wards and speak on matters that are important to you and to your community. This creates better community connections, but enhances our ability to serve our community. Speaking of service, as Mayor, I want to further drive our community responsiveness. I want to work with you and the council officers to continue to prioritise community communications, response and follow-up. I also genuinely recognise the strengths and insights each one of you councillors have. I believe we are a good council that makes good decisions because of our diversity of thought and our respect for one another. This diversity of thought helps me to see issues from many angles, and that's really cool. Building on the work of Michelle and the work of Andrew before her, I want us to continue to collaboratively develop plans, budgets and strategic approaches. I want us to have further opportunities to listen to each other's ideas and to further each other's priorities. Together, the 9 of us can create a council-wide legacy. And in this, I echo Councillor Goff's words that it's not about our individual legacies or my legacy as Mayor. It's about what we can all together achieve as a council. And as Mayor, I want to continue to drive our plan. I want to continue to drive our priorities that mean so much to us all collectively. I want to thank and acknowledge the CEO and the officers that work at Manningham. I feel very blessed to have such a supportive team within the council, and I'm really looking forward to working with you all as we work towards achieving our council plan. And finally, I would like to acknowledge my beautiful husband and my beautiful children and my family who accompany me on each step of this amazing journey. Thank you. Item number 7, election of Deputy Mayor. Do I have a mover? Councillor Chen.
Excuse me. I nominate Councillor Lightbody for the position of Deputy Mayor for 2022 and 2023. Thank you.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Laura Mayne. Councillor Chen, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you. And Councillor Lightbody was elected to council in 2020. We worked with Councillor Lightbody over the past 2 years, and I find Councillor Lightbody is a person of integrity and exceptional intellect. He recently finished his master's. I think that tells a lot about his intelligence. And I'm sure that Councillor Lightbody will assist our mayor to perform the duty and to achieve the maximum benefit for the whole community.
Thank you, Councillor Chen. Councillor Laura Mayne.
Thank you. I'll be relatively brief, but I'm excited to see you take on this role. You're a great councillor. You're always very considered, incredibly hardworking, and make great contributions to the council group. So I'm looking forward to your leadership, all the great things you're going to achieve, and seeing you grow. And congratulations on finishing your masters today.
Are there any further nominations? There being no further nominations, it's my great pleasure to declare Councillor Lightbody duly elected as Deputy Mayor for 2022 and 2023. Item number 8, acknowledgement of our outgoing Mayor. Before we conclude tonight's meeting, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our outgoing Mayor, Councillor Michelle Kleinert. Councillors, can I have a mover?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to move that on behalf of Council and the residents of the municipality, a motion of appreciation be recorded to the outgoing Mayor, Councillor Michelle Kleinert.
Thank you, Councillor Goff. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Lightbody. Councillor Goff, would you like to speak?
Thank you, and I would like to speak and stand up here to celebrate, I suppose, and to talk about the wonderful year that we have had under the leadership of Councillor Kleinert. It started, I suppose, in a very quiet way because we were still in COVID. And if we can remember, cast our minds back to this time last year, we were split up and we were unsure whether we could get together and not get together, and so many things in the council agenda were cut short, cancelled, and really it took till after Christmas and probably after the first 3 months that we started getting back into a regular set of meetings, and boy, at that particular point did it kick off. and things were one after the other after the other. It was like a whirlwind. And our mayor was tirelessly working all of that time here, getting things organised, getting into the meetings, going to functions. I actually think that Councillor Kleinert did spend a lot of time at this organisation, putting a lot of effort in to getting it all done, because what was a 12-month term was compressed into a 7-month term, and in that time it was super busy. And I congratulate her on her ability to have worked so tirelessly in that time to do that. We didn't sit still at council and do nothing over the whole period of time. And in fact, this council, through the leadership of Councillor Kleinert, has implemented the council plan that we actually started to formulate under the previous year. And basically, we did have a major milestone event by the 10-year financial plan was finished and put out and published within this term. There were a number of openings. I'm not going to name them all, perhaps Councillor Kleinert might a bit later, but Petty's was one of those things that has been on our agenda for many, many years. It is now opened, and it's a soccer facility and a multifunctions facility out there for the soccer, which has been for many years an underrepresented sport in facilities that is a very popular sport in the area, and it's going to bring a lot of happiness to people that play soccer and are involved in soccer. The other one is I suppose, the finalisation and the introduction of our livable city strategy, which happened in this particular term with a lot of public consultation, and that was formulated in the term. And also the establishment of the Manningham Flood Mapping Advisory Committee, which is going to meet up very, very soon, but getting that all organised and getting some things into line. So there'll be many more things that Councillor Kleinert will talk about, but these have been done masterfully. I celebrate the fact that I believe that Councillor Kleinert has come on very well in this year and really shown her colours. And what impresses me the most about Councillor Kleinert is the recognisable ability to reflect on consequences of decisions that council make and actions of council, and able to start thinking through the ramifications of those and looking for the best way ahead with it. And I think that's a sign of a very mature council, that we can actually sit down and think, yeah, I've got this great idea, but let's reflect on its effect on the community. And I think that is the key to good governance, is being able to reflect on unexpected outcomes of decisions that we make. And the more that we do that sort of thinking in council, the better off we are going to be to our community. So congratulations over that period of time. It's been a wonderful time. It's been a great time. We've been a very consistent council, and we will continue to be so into the future. So congratulations on a fantastic year.
Thank you, Councillor Goff. Councillor Lightbody.
Yes, thank you. I would also like to show my appreciation and thank Councillor Kleinert for her leadership over the past year. There's been many challenging moments, and Michelle has shown her understanding of good governance and organisational procedures. And I think there's many in the community who are grateful for the work that Michelle has done over the past year and the caring and understanding attitude she's brought to the community. When Michelle began her mayoralship at this time last year, we were all wearing masks and socially separated on different tables, and everyone in the audience was sitting upstairs probably bored out of their brain. But since then, with Michelle, she's assisted the organisation excellently coming out of COVID, getting us back together at the first opportunity possible, so making sure everyone was on top of all the restriction changes that probably changed week to week or even day to day at some points. And I'd also like to show my appreciation for all the advocacy work Michelle has done as well. We had the federal election in which Michelle pursued a lot of our advocacy priorities and has done a lot of work particularly advocating for a headspace facility within Manningham, something that while it's still not here yet, I don't think would be any anywhere as close to becoming a reality if it wasn't for the advocacy of now former Mayor Michelle Kleinert. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lightbody. Are there other speakers? Councillor Laura May.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Michelle, for the safe pair of hands you provided us this year. You truly are a community leader. You're incredibly approachable. You see that walking down the street with you when we go for our coffees. You're a great listener. You're responsive to concerns. You're very well connected to all segments of our community. Respectful, a great public speaker, and at your core, values-driven. Something I've taken away from your mayoralty is how you're always so full of energy, no matter what is facing you. You never knock back an invitation, being incredibly busy, going to event after event after event. And you really do in all aspects put 100% into the role. So Michelle, you're a role model to our community, you're a strong female leader, and you have been and will continue to be an asset to this council. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor Laura Main. Are there any other speakers? Before I throw to the CEO, I might just say a few words myself, if I may. Serving as your Deputy Mayor, it was a great honour, and I want to acknowledge and thank you for your unwavering energy and engagement and commitment for the Manningham community throughout your term as Mayor. No one could doubt your passion for community. I also want to acknowledge your unwavering commitment to people in need through your advocacy for Headspace, through your support for Doncaster, for your many health and wellbeing priorities you have championed at Manningham. And I echo Councillor Lightbody's words. You've been a great spokesperson for our state and federal election advocacy. And I echo Councillor Goff's words. I want to acknowledge your role in continuing to support good governance practices at Manningham. And thanks to councillors like yourself, we do have a strong council and administration that I'm very proud to be a part of. Thank you for your past 12 months. And I'd also like to acknowledge I have some big shoes to fill, but thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And on behalf of the organisation, I also want to thank you, Councillor Kleinert, for the past 12 months. All the councillors have summed it up very, very well and unsurprisingly, and particularly highlighted the energy that was absolutely necessary to bring to the role over the past 12 months to really get our community back up and going again, and to getting the organisation going back up and going again as well, and refocusing us on what we are here for. A lot of councils and a lot of organisations, a lot of governments spent a lot of money, a lot of marketing money on getting organisations back up and going and communities back up and going again with slogans and the like. Well, we didn't need that in Manningham. We just had you as the Mayor, and you were literally at the opening of an envelope. And what you brought with that energy, you actually brought the organisation along with you. And again, as I said, reminded us about what we are here for and what Manningham is all about. It's about the volunteers in the organisation, it's about the sporting groups, it's about the Rotaries, it's about the seniors clubs, it's about the footy clubs and netball clubs, it's about the schools, and you literally got out there as much as you possibly could and re-engaged with them and reminded them that we are here, we were always there, and that we really care for them. And you are a great compass for us to make sure that we continued to head north and that we really understood what Manningham was all about. And for me, as I said before, I've learnt something from every single mayor, and for me, what I learnt from you was absolutely 100% passion for community, for Manningham, and that everyone that works here at Manningham needs to have that at the heart of what they do and have a really good understanding about what makes Manningham tick. And you reminded us all of that over the past 12 months. It is a huge credit to you, and I thank you for that. At a personal level, again, those of you that have been mayors understand how important that relationship is between a CEO and a mayor. You are often the barometer for us of where the council is at, and your availability to me as CEO was outstanding. My ability to come in and run things up the flagpole with you and get a temperature check on issues or ideas or the like was always greatly appreciated, and the personal support that you provided me, because like any human being, I have my ups and downs, and you were very attuned to that as well, and I always greatly appreciated the fact that you could pick that up and certainly at the right sort of moment checked in with me to see how I was tracking. So thank you very much from the organisation, but also from me personally.
Councillor Kleinert, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, Mr. CEO. Thank you, Manningham. Well, I have to say, it feels great to actually just let go and hand it over to my former deputy mayor, now mayor. So when I became mayor in a very uncertain time, my KPI to myself was to reconnect, to listen, to be present and accessible. And I held myself to that every single day. And it was right. We started and it was really, it was a crazy sort of time, and it was January. And we were, work from home orders, but the CEO and myself would come into the office and it was very, very quiet. And my office felt very sterile. There was something about it. And so what I decided to do was bit by bit take the books that were there, that had been there, and put them in one office here and one office there and into the council lounge, because there's some great history and there was bits and bots. And I knew that Zoom was still going to be with us. And before we knew it, we had, we were starting to come out again, and the curators were able to come in and update the room according to the mayor's likes. And I'd stripped away the curtains, got rid of these old blinds that had so much dust on it, and this bare canvas. And they worked their magic to make the office home, because I wanted it to be my home for Manningham for 1 year. I'd like to thank Andrew Day, wrote the names. There's so many to thank. So, because in the year, in wanting to reconnect, in wanting to listen, in wanting to be present and accessible, it was so important to do that for Manningham, for the officers. Andrew, Mac, Carrie, Lee, Vanessa, Catherine, Niall, Fiona, Rochelle, Helen, Christian, James, Karen, Jude, John, Courtney, Jodie, Stacey and Louise. And I know there's many others, but I know throughout the year we spent so much time in and out, always looking for the best opportunity to bring us back, to reconnect, to start again. Because for the community's perspective, they thought, well, everyone was shut down. You're government. You can just make it all happen. Well, we were shut down too. We couldn't do the footpaths, which are essential. We couldn't fix the roads, which are essential. We were stopped. We were called to, shut down parks and all that sort of stuff. But largely people expected that when they had to stay at home because state government was working, so were we. But we were so limited in so much. And there was lots of frustration. And it was very down. And I felt a sense of responsibility. And I wanted to serve my community, and I knew that's what I needed to do to get us back. So the years that we'd lost, we'd get back. I look at those times, and when I look from the organisation's point of view, I love the service awards. And I look and I recognise staff, just watching the story of Hugh. Please, if you can find the story out about one of our workers, 40 years, his story is just beautiful. It moved me to tears, and these are the workers. Everyone's got a story that they bring as part of Manningham, and it was just so great to be able to be there and be part of helping our council reconnect and get back. thank the councillors that they allowed my personality to flourish. You never stopped me, you never held me back, you allowed me to do what I felt that I needed to do in the role that is only shoes in and shoes out, a very, very quick 12 months. For my family, it was a difficult time. We had a difficult year, but I learnt time management to the next level. I felt a sense of duty and a responsibility to Manningham, and so I put that as part of my family too. I know I sacrificed much, but that's what you do when you're a mayor, and you take that on for the 12 months, but you never forget where your priorities lie, and I didn't. So, why would I choose to be mayor for the second time? Because of the supportive community that I have. And wow, the things that we achieved. Because in 2022, our city was about 52 years old. So, Councillor Goff, you were so right, and thank you for your beautiful words. I was going to events that organisations that were turning 50 in 2020, and the organisations that were turning 50 in 2021, and the organisations that were turning 50 in 2022, but they all wanted to celebrate, and so they all got crammed. And I felt the sense that they wanted council to be there. And I suppose I reflect on leadership. When we were locked up for a couple of years, all that I wanted was leadership. And take the politics aside of the state government, but I felt very deflated because I looked and all that I wanted is leadership. And I didn't feel that sense. That was me personally. So what I felt that responsibility was in the chair to demonstrate leadership, because people wanted to know that it was okay. People wanted to know that it's okay to get angry and scream and da-da-da and let it all out because there's all this other stuff going. And you've got to be present. You've got to be accessible. You've got to be to where they are, and that community is so diverse. But it's a skill that I know that I have, that people skill, and so I used it. And so what a year. Ryshik's Pavilion, Ryshik's Lighting, Upgrade and Development, Montgomery Reserve, Wongam Willem, of which we won a naming award, Templestowe Pop-Up Park, Petty's Reserve, Dominie's Reserve Refurbishment. We were accredited as a welcoming city, the first in Australia. The other city that got it with us is a very small South Australian city, so that doesn't count. We endorsed some massive strategies, which I'm so proud of and I won't repeat, but that was 2 years. These developments, these openings would have happened over the last couple of years, but they weren't, so they were all crammed in. So I'm incredibly proud how we reconnected. When I look at the highlight of my year, well, it's attending well over 600 events, 15 citizenships with well over 1,000 people becoming Australian citizens, playing catch-ups that couldn't happen. I just took the opportunity. And the more I went to events, the more I met people, the more I got energised. I got energised because we're such a fabulous city. I'm so proud of what we have. I'm so proud of living here and growing up here and having my first job here. I'm so proud of serving the community. And yes, I'm proud that we advocated, and it was the first time we actually endorsed our advocacy priorities for federal and for state, 2 elections in 1 year, and we did it unanimously. We worked hard at it, we worked together, and we landed really well. And I think that's helped us in good stead into the future. I'm proud that mental health is in our council plan. It is one of our priorities. I'm proud that violence against women is one of our council priorities, and we're working as a council with our diverse communities to meet their needs, each and every one. There is approximately 800 communities that sit, community organisations, including schools, sporting clubs, coal communities, you name it, from cradle to grave. I still haven't met half of them, but they're there in our city, and I'm so proud because of every community member that I've ever met, every child that goes to school, every new citizen. That's been my highlight. Watching them, looking at them in the face, in the eyes, and letting them know I won't leave them alone. I'll listen and I'll do my very best. Won't always get what they want, but you know what, at least they know that they've been heard. So I've been proud to do that in a community that has been broken, that has struggled and has come through, and we've come through extremely well. I had a plan A and I had a plan B. I'm so glad that plan A happened. And I thank you, councillors, organisation through Mr CEO. Thank you so much for the incredible honour. Incredible honour. Thank you. Thank you so much, because you know I love plans. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Councillor Kleinert. I'll now put that to a motion. All those in favour? It's unanimously carried. Thank you. Item number 9, close of meeting. So there being no further business on tonight's agenda, I declare the meeting closed.